Hello, good afternoon. My name is Holabode Hayola, student of International Relations, master student. I'll be talking under the course Democracy and International Relations, and I'll be presenting on the topic Islam and Democracy, case study of Iran, Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, and Indonesia. Before I proceed, I will say some scholars have argued that the traditional Islamic concept, such as Shura, consultation, and justice, this justifies the creation of representative state institutions that resemble Western democracy while reflecting Islamic values. Some Islamic thinkers, popular in the 1970s and the 1980s, rejected the notion of democracy as a foreign idea that it is incompatible with Islam. Others argued traditional Islam concept is also different from the normal Muslim way, and they put forward liberal democratic models of Islamic politics rather than the Western liberal values. Some Muslim thinkers also advocate secular view of Islam because different view of democracy are also represented generally in the Muslim society, with polls showing that most of the Muslim in the world they desire a political model in which democratic institutions and values can coexist with the values and principles of Islam, seeing no contradiction between both of them. You can say the political practice of modern Islam world has been marked by undemocratic practices in states, both secular and religious. And halalists have advanced number of reasons for this because the oil cost, the Arab-Israel conflict, authorization, secular regimes, Muslims' ways of thinking, and the Islamic fundamentalism. So, concerning the case of Saudi Arabian democracy, the Saudi Arabian king is chosen by his predecessor from among male descendants of the country's founder, though the choice must be approved by a council of senior principals with allegiance of the council, and this king's rules for life. Another thing about this Saudi democracy is that King Salam bin Abdul Aziz he appointed his son Mohammed bin Salman as a crown prince in 2017, which whereby displaced the prince's older cousin Mohammed bin Nayef. He was stripped of all his official positions, and bin Nayef was detained along with the siblings of King Salman in 2020 on the charges of treason over an alleged plot to form a coup and overthrow the king and the crown prince. The cabinet of the Saudi democracy is appointed by the king, and they pass legislation that becomes law once it is ratified by royal decree. King Salman also serves as the prime minister, and Mohammed bin Salman serves as the deputy prime minister and the minister of defense. Also, the king appoints up to 150 members of the consultative council as whereby they serve as advisory capacity, and they have no legislative authority for the period of 4 year term. I'll be talking again on the Malaysian democracy because despite the existence and the widespread thoughts, especially in the current literature and political debate, that Islam and democracy can coexist or cannot coexist, Malaysia has history and they continue to function as the school of thought as it enforces a constitutional democracy with Islam as the region of the federation. And the ability of the Malaysian government to integrate secularism and religion and modernity into the functioning government, which has helped them to meet the three major civilization and the two colonial systems, which are India and China and Europe. Unlike the colonized societies, yeah, Malaysia experienced a peaceful decolonization along with history of accommodating allies, which resulted in the independent state that enact many and there have been ideologies that have been implemented under the colonial rule, especially under secularism. When we look into the Malaysian history and their politics, we can see that the relationship between Islam and democracy in Malaysia is complex, and we can see discrepancies between the democratic ideas and actual policies because we can conclude by saying it is important to underline that in Malaysia, they have unique history and interactions that allow them to combine democracy and Islam to function and to make them function along each other. So I'll be talking about the democracy in Indonesia, and because a number of international relation airlines they are worried about the quality of democracy as it is deteriorating in spite of the president Joko Widodo to pursue a two-track strategy against the country's influential Islamist movement. So with this, there have been reports of deadly attacks against other religions that are minor in the society, and it has become common in this country of the recent because far back in 1945, the politicians tried to Islamize the country for their own benefit. They tried to Islamize the constitution in the hope that Indonesia will be engaged in a heated debate about the place of Islam in the country. Also, we can say with the ongoing fight against the Islamic State militant group across the world, it is feared that the group is trying to make ideological inroads in Indonesia. And this concludes my presentation. Thank you.